recruiter confused on where does this person really get to stand in. Do you understand? So I hope we've gotten the clear differentiation between the CV and the resume. And also, you can have a link to your portfolio on your resume. Okay, you can include a link to your portfolio or resume. So after talking about your experience and everything, you can also add, okay, this is a link that showcase actually a proof of what you have done. So you can also add this to your resume. So let's move ahead. Now, how to write a good resume. I've already started speaking to that, so I'm just going to rush through. Number one, we've already established the fact that it must be specific to the role, which I've mentioned. Number two, it must include relevant keywords. Okay. There is this ATS system that normally companies or recruiters usually use. And if it helps to, maybe do an initial scanning, of the resumes that come in. And if, for instance, the specific words of that role is not in that resume, they will just reject you instantly. So you have to ensure that at least your resume includes the relevant keywords. So you can read through the job description and everything. You can even choose to use an ATS system, you understand, to run your resume through to ensure that it captures the keywords. So I think one ATS system you can use, the one I make use of sometimes is JobScan. Okay, so you can check it out. I think they have 2 weeks free trial. I don't know if it's still on, so you can check it out. Okay, so ensure that your resume has the relevant keywords for that particular job. Number two, quantify achievements. Okay, in the sense that, for instance, if you are saying I did XYZ, try to, what's the word? How will I explain this now? For instance, let's say you are a marketer, okay? Let's say you are a marketer or something. Probably instead of writing something like, let's say I marketed or a certain product in my company, and just leave it like that. So why don't you go for that? Because that's a very generic word, and a whole lot of persons will have generic things like that in their CV. So why don't you go for that to say something like, okay, maybe as a marketer, I was able to, let's say I marketed a particular product, and because of maybe my marketing strategies per se, certain marketing strategies that I use, were able to, would I say, we had almost maybe 1,000 or 2,000 signups and all that just on that particular product. So anybody that is reviewing that CV, it's already interesting. They will say, okay, this person, as a marketer, was able to do X, Y, Z. And what we need for our organization is basically to, we would love to, to sell our products. We would love people to know about our product. So they will definitely want to speak to you. Unlike somebody else that just put a generic thing to say, oh, I'm a marketer. Let's say I'm marketing XYZ that product, but there's no form of, achievement, nothing. We don't know what impact you make and all those things. So you should ensure you get to quantify your achievement. Number two, number four, we've already mentioned that it needs to be paid up to. Then number five, another thing is, and this is where also a lot of persons make mistakes. Please use PDF format. Once you are done writing your resume on using your Google Doc or whatever template you choose, please convert it to PDF, okay? Because if you are using a Word format, there is a very high chance that the person that will want to download your resume to review it, it can scatter. It can scatter in that person's system, okay? You don't know what the person is using, and it will not be a good look. I don't know how many of you maybe someone has sent you maybe a Word document, you try to open it, and then the document is just like an ISO. So you should learn to use a PDF format. I think the PDF format will stay a PDF format. It makes it look better. It makes it look easy Do you understand? So learn to always convert your resume to a PDF format before submitting. Then another point here is that please don't lie on your resume, but be smart. Why? While being professional about it. So sometimes don't go and write things that you cannot, verify, things that you didn't do. Even if at the end of the day you get called for an interview, to end up biting you in the leg later. I know now we have AI, which is easy for you to write so many big and robust words and all those kind of things. But please be careful that whatever you're writing with your resume, in your resume, it is something that at least it's something that you've done in one way or the other, and you can defend it. So I also added here, I said, but be smart while being professional about it. So that other statement, it means that it is very possible that you might not have an experience that is so what's it called, that is so catchy. For instance, maybe you were a salesperson at a market. Maybe you were a salesperson at a marketplace now. Maybe you sell at the market, okay? And you now want to apply for maybe a sales rep at a very big company. Let's say at Google or XYZ. And you don't have um the sales experience in an actual corporate firm. So that's your sales experience that you have in the market. There's a way you can package it in your resume. You can use some kind of words, do you understand, to make it really, really catchy and put it in your resume. It's a sales experience. Do you get? And when they now call you, you understand, you know how to defend it also in a professional way without the person necessarily knowing that, oh, you were actually a salesperson in the market. So that's why I said be smart while being professional about it. So in this sense, you are not lying. Do you get? You are not lying, but you actually have this particular experience. It's just that it's not really, really to the typical standard, but you have a way to to package it so that it looks like an actual professional experience. So that's what I mean there. Then the last point here is, please, can you confirm you can still hear me, please?
Yes, ma.
Okay. All right, so the last point here is to use a resume template and avoid unnecessary distractions. So try to use a resume template to make it have a better look, okay? And also, when I mean avoid unnecessary distractions, sometimes some people want to put pictures, they want to put various designs and all sort, da 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 da. The important thing is your experience, okay? That is what should be speaking for you. Except maybe you are a design person and maybe you are applying to a kind of design firm, then maybe you can want to to add some kind of designs to please them. That's fine, okay? But focus more on the information and the content, okay, and leave unnecessary distractions. I would also advise you don't put your picture too on your resume. Some people support putting your picture, but for me, my personal reason is the fact that it can cause some kind of bias, but like maybe some foreign people you get can see your resume and be like, okay, this one is black, or maybe fine, or maybe this one ugly, too black, or I don't like this person, that kind of thing. So don't shoot yourself on the leg. Focus on, let your qualifications speak for you. All right, so let's move. Mistakes people make on their resume. So I'm going to run through this because I already mentioned that in my previous slides. Lies, which I told you not to do, not related to the role. We already spoke about that. Using Word document format. We already mentioned that. Resume is too long, so don't do that again. That's a sin. Not showcasing enough relevant skills. Also, yeah, this is another thing. All right. Now, I know some of you might have this question now. I don't have any experience. I've not worked in any professional firm. I'm just a beginner. I'm just getting started in this particular area. So how do I write a resume really with zero professional experience? So this is what you can do. Number one, you need to take courses, online courses, okay, about whatever area you get that you are interested in. So take enough courses online, get those certificates, and put it on your resume. Do you get? You can get to put it on your resume. Then, secondly, even while you are taking those courses, for people who are let's say developers per se, you can sometimes they give you things like mini projects or so to work on. So you can work on those projects, try to do it, and even try to tax yourself or give yourself, some kind of project, and upload it on and get to upload it on GitHub. Do you get? And talk about that project on your resume. I have a friend that got into Bank of America and later got into Microsoft then. She literally didn't have any experience really in software, development. All she had was more like, online courses and all those things. So what got her those roles is the fact that she started working on a personal project. And when during our interview, she kept going on and on and on about this project and this thing that she has done. So this is somebody that she didn't necessarily have to work in a professional organization first, but she had already started doing something. So you can tax yourself, give yourself, personal projects to do. Another angle to come in is volunteer. Okay, I know sometimes we want to make money so fast and all those kind of things, but you can volunteer your service to also get experience to add to your resume. So in the sense that as a project manager to say, let's say I'm just getting started in project management, okay? I finished taking some courses in project management and I'm like, how do I practicalize this? How do I practicalize my project management skill? So I can choose to, maybe reach out to friends or maybe even put it out there and say, okay, who is working on maybe a particular project and you need a project manager. I'm actually ready to, to volunteer my service. So you can volunteer your service there and you are basically practicalizing and you go ahead to put that in your resume. That is already you putting experience, getting to put different kinds of experience in your resume without you having an actual professional experience. Another thing you can do is also join communities. There are a lot of opportunities in communities like the alumni community like that. You can take up initiatives. You can say, oh, I would love to speak. Okay. Oh, I would love to join the leadership team to do XYZ and all those kind of things. All those things we cut as in we count for you as various experiences. Okay. I've already mentioned take up leadership positions. So I hope you're understanding how to, actually get experiences to put in your resume, even without having an actual professional experience. Though I know that there are actually some jobs that would require you to really have a professional experience, okay? So maybe for some jobs, for those kind of jobs, you can avoid it for now. And while there are other jobs that are just interested in knowing if you can do this or if you can do that. So please stop limiting yourself and saying, oh, nobody's hearing me now, no one is employing me and all those kind of things. Go ahead and take up those personal projects, volunteer your service, and please add all those various experience on your resume. Okay. All right, so let's move to the next point. Now, the next point, which is another place, will I say another point that I find very, very interesting because this is something that has worked really well for me, is how to build a professional online presence. Okay. Please, if you have any question at any point, please just, we're going to take all questions at the end of this session. So we're almost done. So, how to build a professional online presence? I know earlier, before you can even get to the point of um okay, let me not go there. Remember I mentioned that there are some persons, even if you are really so skilled, even if you are good, this software thing, it, or this design thing, it very well inside your blood, like this thing is part of you, even if you are that skilled. And if you just keep it, if you just keep it in your room, like it's only you, yourself, and I that knows about it, trust me, opportunities will keep missing. You'll keep missing so many opportunities. So you need to know how can I build an actual professional online experience? How do people get to know that this is what I do? XYZ. How do people get to search me on, on social media, or search me and they get to see, okay, XYZ or Victoria, she's into this and that, okay, and they can bring opportunities to me. So number one way that you can get to build a professional online experience is you have to understand the industry you want to venture into. Definitely, you have to know what area really do you want to venture into. Do you want to be a software developer? Do you want to be a project manager? What really? And once you determine that, then you go through the whole process of, definitely you have to learn the skill. So right now I'm talking from the point of you already have this skill set, okay? You already have this skill in one way or the other, okay? So the next thing you need to do is to build a portfolio. You can have a personal website. You can also have a LinkedIn. I don't know how many of you here have a LinkedIn account, but LinkedIn is something that is very powerful, and I cannot emphasize on how amazing LinkedIn is and how LinkedIn has been a blessing to me. So your LinkedIn can also be used as your portfolio because it also helps you to to upload various projects. It also enables you to talk about a whole lot of things and even put links to your projects and all that. So you need to build this portfolio, okay? And another thing, you have to also leverage a social media platform that is more profitable to your career path. So why I said this is this. You know the area, the industry you are in. If, for instance, you are a fashion designer, nobody has to tell you that social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram will be more beneficial to you. So if, for instance, you are now like will I say, a more of a professional person per se, or let's say developer and all those kind of things, you need to be on platforms like LinkedIn, you need to be on platforms like X, which is Twitter. You can also be on Instagram and all those things, but you and I know that platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, it gives you more opportunity, it gives you more leverage. So leverage a social media platform that is more profitable to your career path. So when I also say leverage a social media platform, I'm also speaking to platforms that you get to post more often about things you do, about projects that you've worked on. These are platforms, okay, that will get you more recognized. So if you use a place like LinkedIn, if you really if you really leverage LinkedIn very well, and you are posting, actively on, things you do, the projects you build, and, just giving your perspective and all those things, you are highly, people will get to, recognize you more on those platforms than you coming to Instagram, for instance. I'm not saying they will recognize you on Instagram, okay, but it might be a kind of a thin line. You will get more recognition on places like Twitter, and you will get more recognition on places like LinkedIn for a professional, okay. Now, the next point here is at least 60% of people or organizations you follow should be within your career path. So why I said this is, it is one thing with you getting the right social media tailored to where you want to venture into, and it's another thing in having the right followers, the right people that are following you, because you have to stay updated with certain informations. If, like now, AI has done something. There is something that how would I put this now? If, for instance, you are following certain, let's say a particular person, there's a way it keeps maybe wanting to recommend someone within the same within the same line to you, or let's say recommending certain posts within the same line to you. Maybe certain posts maybe you've liked regarding to software development. There's a very high chance if you start recommending software development related posts, software development related opportunities to you. So that's why I said at least 60% of people you follow should be within your career path, so that you can easily be in tune with certain opportunities. Okay, if for instance your network is talking about something, you don't miss out on it. But if for instance you are a software developer and 60% of people you follow, or 70 or 80% of people you follow are Davido's, people who are into entertainment and all those kind of things, when you are not inside into the entertainment industry, you will miss out on very key information and opportunities that go on. So ensure that 60% of people you follow are within the career path or have similar interests with you. Now, get your hands dirty with projects. We've already mentioned that. So get your hands dirty with projects, get to do content writing, write about what you have done. Write about it. Okay? Like, it's, I don't know, I can't exaggerate. People are watching you. You would not know. People are looking at what you are doing. Like, you might start now and it might look as if nobody's really saying anything, but try as much as you can to get your hands dirty with project and write about it. Don't be shy. Even if you just started, maybe learning web development for now, you can write about, the HTML and CSS that you are learning, or the simple hello world that you got to write. But keep, be consistent about it. Okay, let people get to see, okay, your growth, that this person is growing. Because I've had majority of jobs and opportunities I've had usually came through my LinkedIn profile. Let's say someone is like, hello, hi, I would like you to do this, or I would like you to interview for this, or that. If I was just hiding with my profile, there's no way people will get to find you. So you have to learn to write about what you are doing. Don't be shy about it. Then you can also become active, get to volunteer in developer communities and all those things. When the host was reading my profile, you heard of all those various awards. This was as a result of me contributing to certain developer communities. This was me being active in certain developer communities that got me that particular recognition. There was even a competition I entered in for, which is Eyanta, the the Build project. That was in 2020, and that was their very first edition, when they were giving out like 50 MacBook laptops. You understand, to people. So I entered it for that competition, and the last stage that actually made me one of the top 50 people that won that MacBook laptop was it has to do with your online presence. They went and checked, okay, so what would be the final criteria for us to get to choose? They went online to check, okay, who is actually doing something within this thing. And that's how I was able to get in. So building your online presence helps you in various ways. It helps you in various endeavors. So please don't underestimate that aspect. Now, and what are the advantages of building an online presence? I already mentioned, as employers get to easily spot you out, access to different opportunities, eagerness to learn. So when I said eagerness to learn, I mean, if you know you have the responsibility of putting out, let's say, writing a post on what you are learning, or writing a post on certain projects, you would definitely want to, read to ensure that you put in the right content out there. Do you get? So it will give you this eagerness to always want to learn new things, to always want to have to share new things to other persons. So that's why I said eagerness to learn. So it gives you this accountability, it puts you on your feet. Do you get? So another thing is that you also get to be an inspiration to others. A lot of content we find out there are people, it's people that put out those contents there. The YouTube videos you get to read, it's people that made those videos. The articles, the write-ups you get to meet when you do when you do your Google search, these are people that put out those contents. So why don't you put out your own content as well and be an inspiration to others? Okay. So another thing is networking. Yeah, that's another advantage of online presence. You get to meet lots of amazing people. Another thing is you get access to referrals or recommendations. So for instance, you want to apply for a job and you're looking for who will refer you, just because, you know, people have seen your work out there. Someone can easily refer you and be like, oh, I've been following XYZ for a while and she's really good in product design. I think you should, consider her for the role of a product designer. So that's another advantage of having an online presence. Now let's move to, please, can you confirm you're still here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's move to the essential soft skill to manage as a techie. I know sometimes we focus more on technical skills, but there are some soft skills you should have, which are one, the problem solving skill. You should have the skill of a problem solver. You should have a good communication skills, which most times some persons lack these skills, especially developers. Okay. There was a time that somebody was telling me that I think we should stop developers from talking in client meetings because sometimes they just go and mess things up for you. So there are certain communication skills that, there's a way a project manager or a product manager or a business person, would communicate, you understand, to an external person that you are not, that a developer will not be able to necessarily be able to communicate in that light. So you should learn communication skills, very important. You should learn documentation, documenting your work. You should learn collaboration and teamwork. You are not a one man. You get to work with different people, so you should understand what it means to collaborate and work in teamwork. You should learn adaptability. Everybody is not the same. There are different people that like different things. They are very interesting people that will get to vex you, piss you off, and different things. So you should learn how to adapt. You should also understand time management. You should understand emotional intelligence. You should understand growth mindsets and leadership and ownership. So these are various essential skills, soft skills that you should master as a techie, and not just as a techie, in every aspect and areas that you find yourself. Okay. So, and what are the ways that you can get to, practicalize these skills? This is just you doing projects, working together with people, okay? Then you get to strengthen these various areas and you get to realize what are the areas that I'm lacking behind and improve on it. All right. Now, I'm done with my presentation. So I guess questions for discussion. So do you think you have an online presence? Okay, that's one question. And the second one is, if no, if your answer is no, what do you think is preventing you from having one? So this is a discussion now and the class is open. I want to have a lot of contributions. Okay. So you can choose to chat. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You can also choose to speak. Please just let's go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing. So let's chat, let's comment, anything you want to do. I'm all ears.
Okay. I would say I have an online presence, but I don't think it's tangible enough in the sense that it's just there. I barely update it, but I know I'm there. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't yet. When you say then, is it that you just maybe created an account and you just left it there?
Yes, it's just there. Like when you search for my name, definitely you see me online. So that's my online presence. But when I mean something more reasonable, like okay, I'm looking. Let me know what this person is into. Let me know how far this person has gone. How far this person has grown. I'm not there.
Okay, thank you so much, Fruits. So yeah, okay, that's good that you have a profile online, but it doesn't stop there. Because if you really want to get opportunities, like we mentioned, you have to keep people have to get to see, okay, yeah, this person is growing or this person is doing, amazing things. Okay. So that's the way you get opportunities. Yeah, a lot of people that are just there. Okay. But if you really want to stand out, you have to do more. Okay. Any question from anyone? Any comments? Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. Go ahead.
So, actually, I have a LinkedIn account. So, I do post there. Let's say maybe I'll post throughout this week. Then next week I will not post. But I've been updating it because I've been taking courses. I've been getting certificates, but I've not been like because I see on LinkedIn if anybody, let's say somebody volunteer or let's say somebody even buy a cat or and the cat is and the way they actually make posts in LinkedIn, like it will look like somebody is it will look so intimidating. So I want to ask,
Yeah.
is he necessary that someone do post like their achievements both career wise and personal wise on LinkedIn?
Okay. So your achievements. It depends. You can choose not to really, really make a post about it. Maybe you can do that, like also for your safety too. Okay. But it's always important for you to add it to your LinkedIn. And there's a way for you to add your experience or add an achievement to your LinkedIn without necessarily getting to update, like notify anybody on your platform. So it's now left for if anybody needs to do a search on you, for instance, maybe somebody needs to visit your LinkedIn, or maybe a recruiter is looking for maybe a specific person in that field, then it's easier for your profile to come up and they can now check your profile and be like, okay, this person has XYZ. All right. And you can also choose to post about it, your achievements. For instance, maybe you accomplished that particular thing as at January or maybe as at March or something. You can choose to now maybe make a post about maybe everything, maybe in June, to just talk about it, that okay, yeah, the first half of the year is over and maybe I was able to do this and that. Well, so that doesn't mean that you must be updating everybody like back to back to say, okay, today my boss just said, well done, I did well on this project, da. There are some people that are extreme like that, but if you are someone that still likes, to be private and also for your own safety, because the internet is also a very wicked place. I agree on that. So there's a way you can go about it without necessarily like, yeah, making too much a show of it. Then regarding people posting about a cat or posting about I just got married to the love of my life and all those kind of things, I really don't know why some persons are doing that. I guess mostly sometimes it comes from the whites and all that. LinkedIn is not really like, the place for that. Though I see some people do that, but it's strictly meant to be like a professional thing. So I hope that got to answer your question.
Yes, it does. It does. Thank you, one.
All right. So any comments, any question from anybody? If
Okay,
there's
good
anyone that wants
evening.
me to review, sorry, Joy. If there's anyone that wants me to maybe review your LinkedIn, maybe give you a feedback or review your CV, you can drop it on the group, or maybe you should send it to the how will I do this now? Okay, you can drop it on the group or send me a personal, maybe you add, just ask the leadership team to send me like a personal message and all that so I can check and give you personal feedbacks and recommendations. So, Joy, you can go ahead. Mm.
Okay, so my question is that is there a particular algorithm of social media you like? Is it like everyday posting, weekly posting, monthly posting? Now, which one works better? Because for me, I opened LinkedIn 2 years ago. I was posting consistently for the past 4 months, but this year I have not posted anything. I don't know, maybe because I lack the motivation or so, but I go on LinkedIn, like, comment, but I haven't posted on my profile. So, like, is there a particular schedule of posting? Should it be every day? Should it be once in a month? Should it be every week? So that's just my question.
Hmm. There's no particular schedule. Sometimes all of us were in that same box of sometimes we're consistent, another time we're not consistent, and all that it happens. But like I said earlier, one thing you should do is that your profile is constantly growing. Okay, might not need to be talking too much or get to post. There are people that come online and post AI written text. They don't even get to even read the AI text very well. It even still shows the part that says, do you want me to recommend blah 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 blah. You guys know how AI does. And they just come and post it on on LinkedIn for you, and at the end of the day they don't really have any experience, nothing. Do you get? So just allow your profile, keep updating your profile, okay? And there's actually a low key, you can even be low key reaching out to people, companies, and all that. That's something I do, once in a while. So you can reach out to certain recruiters, or you can reach out to certain maybe CEOs or founders from companies and just pitch yourself, okay? And most times, what those people do is that when you send them a message, they will go and check your profile and all those things. So when they check your profile, they see, okay, you have this qualification, all right. So just ensure your profile keeps growing, and you can get to post. Just design what basically works for you, okay? You can choose to post maybe once a month, and maybe that once a month is something quality, or you can choose to do maybe once in 2 weeks, okay? Just ensure that, okay, what you are putting out there is really quality, and it's not just, let me just post for posting sake, and you end up posting what does not have head or what does not have tail, all those kind of things. Yeah. So I hope that got
Okay.
an joy. Okay. What do you
Yes,
have for
yes.
that question?
Okay,
No, no, no.
Okay.
when you were talking about,
Adepa, okay, Ruth, you want to say something?
yes, I said when you were talking about resume, and then you made mention you recruiters that use ATS standard, and then when they don't get the keyword that they are looking for, your CV, your resume is being flagged. My question is that, does this mean that for every application you want to make, you have to create what you're applying for?
Sorry, you have to, it's breaking a bit. You have to create a what?
I said, does that mean that anytime you want to apply for a job or for a particular role, you have to create a new CV that will fit that particular role that you're applying for?
Yes, you can go through. It's not a must. Okay, sometimes some roles can be closely related. Okay, you can still use the same CV. But if you really want to be intentional, I think you should create a CV that will fit into that, that speaking to that job. Like, even if it's project management skills, but just position it, put it in such a way that will really fit into what those company or that organization is asking for. So yes, if you really want to be intentional and get things quickly, yeah. So I will say yes to that. Then if you want to be extremely extra, pass it through an ATS system. Okay, someone had their hand up. Who was that? Falula is saying, my question is about the online presence. Is it good to stick with one platform like LinkedIn and no presence on X? Yeah, you can. Use what works for you. Me, I'm on Twitter, but it's really been a while that I posted there. I'm more active on LinkedIn, and yeah, I'm more active on LinkedIn in terms of professional thing. I'm more active on LinkedIn. Yes. So you can do what works for you. You must not be in all social media. So please just focus on one. It will even make you more focused. Anyone has any other question? What was Emmanuel saying? Hi, I'm Emmanuel from Bachenzi. I got social media accounts, but they are not really career focused. LinkedIn and X are a bit of a mystery to me. I barely use them. I would love some help in setting up my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, fine. You can reach out to Emmanuel. That's fine. Any other question? Comments? I guess this meeting was supposed to end by 5, so I don't want the host to shoot me. Are we done? Any other question? Okay. So, in the absence of none, so I will be looking forward to your messages on whatever you need help with. Yeah, regarding building an online presence. I'll just give you an advice. Yeah. So over to you, Ruth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Victoria. Please, a round of applause again for our host. It was what every single minute of our time. It was really an eye opener because we got to see that a lot of us we feel we're doing a particular thing right, but after hearing from professionals and people that have been there, people that have um been able to find their way around it, we get to understand that, oh, actually some pieces were actually missing. I for me for take me for instance now, I just submit one CV to every single role I want, and then I got to understand that, oh, I'll have to like do a little bit switching for me to have an opportunity. I think we've come to the end of today's webinar, and want to say thank you very much, Victoria, for having us and for taking your time to break down everything for us bit by bit. What really got to me was when you spoke about getting a skill. You don't need to have the experience, but when you take online courses and then practice on your own, it's equivalent to having the experience. I was really, really like I was interested, and then I got to understand that instead of sitting and looking for opportunities to to get to get the experience, I can actually take courses online. And I'm sure most of us we got one or two from what you said. We really, really, really appreciate your time and your efforts. So thank you very much. I think we've come to the end of today's webinar. We can kindly exit the call. And thank you everyone for tuning in today. If you have any questions, like our host already said, you can reach out to her, and then she will be
Ma, please, how do you reach out to her?
willing. Okay, I'm going to drop my number on the comment section now. So you can send me a DM and then I'll send you her number if that's okay.